Alright, lads and ladies, it's that time again. Time for my favorite subject that we have to go over almost monthly at this point, although usually it's in a daily update. So, my favorite game of what is Xbox cooking? Now, if you don't know, let me give some background. I am not a pony, I'm not a bot. I'm a guy who loves good games, and I want more good games, and I want all sides to make good games. So, what I'm going to speak on is that this is my like stance on this, right? You have a console that has the most money, the most developers, the most studios, everything that should be making some of the best stuff in the industry, and they are not. This is my basis. Let's go from here. So, recently, Phil Spencer did an interview with an Xbox podcast, and they talked about a lot of things there, and there were a few things that I really liked the answers he gave for. For example, they had mentioned 2022. 2022 was a dry year for Xbox, is what the host said. And Phil Spencer's response to that was, yeah, you could say dry, I would have other words for it. It's clear he's taking this very seriously. He took it on the chin, and I appreciate that a lot. However, some of his other answers are troublesome, to say the least. So, let's get into that. Now, basically, the big controversial thing to me was when they had asked him about being third place in the console market or something, and he said, we are not in the business of trying to out-console Nintendo and Sony. This is a good answer. I approve of this. However, he then goes on to say stuff like, even if we make great games, it's not going to make people buy our console. Even if Starfield is an 11 out of 10, it's not going to make people sell their PS5s. Rah, 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 rah. Even if we do really good, it's not going to change things. Here's where I think he's wrong. Now, let me say this. He is right on some of it. I really like that Xbox is branching out. You know, while I don't like the Game Pass business model, I don't think it's going to be sustainable in the long run. It may be good right now, but in the long run, the quality of your games will become stagnant because of Game Pass. I'm telling you, it's basic mathematics. It's not that difficult to figure out. It's successful for now, but in the long run, the quality of your games will become stagnant through the Game Pass business model. It's not that difficult to figure out, man. But, anyways, I like what he said about, like, oh, Xbox is like, play what you want, anywhere you want. You know, we have cloud, we have Xbox, we have Game Pass, PC. Xbox supports all these things, and this is true. Xbox supports the most things out of any console out there. However, a lot of the stuff they support is seeped in mediocrity, and not the things themselves. What they support those things with is seeped in mediocrity. And of course, a lot of this is, of course, because Sony does. I say, of course, a lot. Sony is paying a lot of these big publishers to not put their games on Game Pass, and this is true. It's simply unavoidable. However, it's also fair to say that Xbox should not be relying on games that are on every single platform to carry its own platform. What makes Sony and Nintendo consoles sell like hotcakes these days? The games. The games are more important than anything. We look at Xbox. What have they done recently that's really notable? Hi-Fi Rush, for example, is like fantastic. I will never, ever once take anything away from Hi-Fi Rush. It is exactly what I want from Xbox. It is games made by Xbox Game Studios for Xbox's players. This is what I want. Give me more of this. It is that classic like PS2 game bliss that I've always wanted, that I've wanted for so long, and Hi-Fi Rush gave that to me. I want more games like that. But then you have a lot of mess-ups that have happened as well. Halo Infinite launched disastrous. They said, oh, well, all these features that aren't here at launch that we said we'll add them. Trust me, we'll add them. Time goes on, things get cut, things don't get fixed, they don't add anything, they don't do anything hardly. The game is basically just as stagnant now as it was on launch. We look at Redfall, what have we seen? We have seen the exact same thing. And Phil Spencer's reason for this was, we gave Arcane Studios complete creative freedom of this. We didn't want to impede on that vision. And while I definitely understand this, we need creativity in the industry. This is 100% true. However, as the publisher of this game, at some point you have to realize this needs more time. Like, even if they think, no, it's fine, gotcha, trust me, it's good. No. At some point you need to know that they're just putting the game out. They need more time. They want to achieve a creative vision. That's good. They need more time to do so. This game needed another year in development. From the visuals, to the performance, to the gameplay, to the design of everything in the game. It's clear. It feels like a beta. It feels like you're playing an open beta of a game. It's not what you should launch as your first next-gen $70 game. It's not what you should have launched that as. And that definitely made things a lot worse, right? Because what have we seen over the last couple of years? We've seen a lot of Xbox people being upset that games are $70 now, and I myself don't have an issue with the $70 price tag, provided that the quality of the game is going up. For example, I don't think God of War Ragnarok should have been $70. I don't. It's the same game, dude. It is at least 60% of the same game as God of War 2018. I say this as someone who loved and platinumed both. It is 60% the same game. Same thing. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This game should not be $70. It is 60% the same game as Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Same exact thing. Now, for games such as Armored Core, which actually isn't going to be $70, that game looks amazing. I'd pay $70 for Armored Core 6. Resident Evil 4, I believe, was $70. Makes sense. I'd pay $70 for that. Final Fantasy 16 is $70. Makes sense. I'd pay $70 for that. Starfield is going to be $70. Makes sense. I would probably pay $70 for that. These games look big, but there are some things like Redfall. This game should have been $50 at most. Makes sense that it's free on Game Pass. This game needed a lot more time, and Xbox needs to really know that, listen, while we are giving these studios creative freedom, we really do need to know when to step in and when to delay games. Phil Spencer said he doesn't want to impede on creative visions. However, this is something that he must do. You must do it. If you want the success of your brand, you must do this. Bite the bullet. It's still a business, right? That's the thing. We can talk about feelings and all that all we want. This is still a business, and businesses need to succeed. So, he later went on to add something about, even if we make great games, people will not come to our consoles. We're not going to out-console Sony and Nintendo. I don't know where he's getting this from, because what built Sony and Nintendo? Great games. First party and third party. What has been Xbox's biggest failure in the last 10 years or so? Can anyone tell me? I'll wait. Yes, third-party games, third-party exclusives. Now, a lot of people like to cry and moan and complain about third-party exclusives being anti-consumer. You're being very short-sighted when you say this. Games being third-party exclusives usually lead to better games. It's just a simple fact, you know. Final Fantasy VII Remake was made specifically for PlayStation, and it later ported to PC. I'm sure the PC port was rough, but the game itself benefited a lot from being made for PlayStation. Final Fantasy XVI is being made specifically for PlayStation. It's going to benefit a lot from being made for PlayStation, because it's being made for specific hardware with specific tasks that are going to do things very well. Xbox needs to do more of this. I'm telling you, they need to. What has been the major third-party exclusives they had? Sunset Overdrive? You're not going to get a sequel to that. Sony bought Insomniac. Third-party exclusives are very, very important, and we need to see more of these from Microsoft. We can cry and moan and complain about money hatting all we want. The fact of the matter is, third-party exclusives lead to better video games. Microsoft needs to have better video games. It's that simple. We don't need to act like it's super complex, like it's super confusing. It's really just that simple. Microsoft needs better games. They need more games, they need better games. That's all it is. They need third-party titles. We don't need Microsoft buying up the entire competition to make everything first-party. No. You're having difficulty managing the first-party studios that you have. You manage those studios, make great games, sign third-party deals. It's that simple. Go to CD Projekt Red with the quickness and sign deals for The Witcher. You know, it's not that difficult. This is what they need to do. It's what Sony did with Final Fantasy. What did they do? They knew that if we made these games specific for our hardware, they would be better games. So what did they do? They run to Square Enix with the quickness to sign everything. Say, hey, listen, we will help fund this game. We will help develop this game. Exclusivity, yada, yada, yada. Port this game to PC down the line. That's totally kosher. But for consoles, you're only developing it for this specific hardware. And the games come out better for it. Now, obviously, you get some stinkers like Forspoken, but you also get some stinkers like Redfall, which that's first party, but it still proves my point. They're just stinkers, right? That's all it is. A game being exclusive or not doesn't change whether it's a stinker or not. Sometimes a game just isn't great. But that's really where Xbox falters, I think. Xbox needs more third-party exclusives, and I wish they would have more, because they don't. They just straight up do not. I really wish they would get more third-party games. We need, like, the new Witchers to be Xbox exclusive, third-party. This is what I want. And even though I don't own an Xbox, I'm more than happy to go and buy an Xbox as well to play these games. I am more than happy to do it. And this leads me to my final topic, I guess. When he said, in a hypothetical world where Starfield is an 11 out of 10, people are not going to start selling their PlayStation 5s. Hello, Axel. People are not going to start selling their PlayStation 5s to buy an Xbox. This is also extremely short-sighted, I think. People, you do not need to make people sell the consoles they have to buy yours. You need to give people a reason to buy your console. That's what you need to do. You don't need to make people say, oh, I regret buying my Switch. I regret buying my PS5. Let me sell it and buy an Xbox. You need to make people say, I need an Xbox to play this game. I need an Xbox for this game. The same way PlayStation makes people say, I need a PlayStation for this game. The way Nintendo makes people say, I need a Switch for this game. Xbox needs to do the same thing, and they've yet to do it. They don't need to make people sell their consoles. They need to give people reasons to buy their consoles. I hope to God that this Activision Blizzard merger fails. And this is not because I want Sony to stay dominant. No, I don't. I want Sony to have competition. Does anybody remember what happened back in the PS2 generation? And why the PS3 sucked so bad? Sony got arrogant. Sony didn't have that much competition. And what happened? Arrogant Sony in the PS3. That's what we got. And it sucked. Till right at the end of the PS3, it sucked. And what did we get in the PS4? We got great, in the PS4 generation, we got great first-party games. They signed great third-party deals. Everything like that. Xbox needs this. I don't want Sony to get arrogant. I want Sony to have competition. I want the entire industry to have competition. Cry about it. I don't care. Third-party games make the industry better. Exclusives make the industry better. This whole idea of you should be able to play anything, anywhere you want it's naive, right? It's simply naive. You have to distinguish these consoles somehow. So there has to be exclusives. Some of them need to be third-party. It's really that simple. But yeah, anyways, I know I rambled for a little bit there, but let me know what you think. Hopefully this video was somewhat comprehensive. I'm recording this a bit late, and it's very hot in here, so I'm getting a bit disoriented. But yeah, let me know what you think. Do you think Xbox is on top for some reason? Do you think that they're making a comeback? Do you think they're wallowing in their own dirt? What do you think? Let me know. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Check out Worthless Rage's music. They do my outro. My name is Coleman, but I go by Ellism on YouTube, and that's going to do it. Y'all take it easy.